Growing up in a narcissistic home. You don't realize you're being abused when you're young. You grow up in a house that you didn't understand had problems until you become older and learn more about what a narcissist is, how they think, the actions they take, and the underlying abuse they have to their spouse and children. Over time, we become wiser. Each year, our brains develop more. With this wisdom, you see the traits you grew up with, noticing what marriage was like when you were in a toxic environment. What little time this parent didn't want to spend time with you, the words they spoke made you feel worse. The times you spent begging for them to spend time with you and never received this time or even a fun memory you could share years later. You remember a few things that were built and made by them, but it didn't make up for all of the other times you wanted to be noticed, loved, and have the attention you felt you deserved and didn't receive. Your memories of your siblings being beaten with a belt as they screamed for it to stop. You getting smacked across the face repeatedly, causing bruises, while trapped in a corner. Being shamed by going to the police after being hit. And the consistent words of put down from this parent. No one came to your defense to protect you fully. You became depressed by the time you were a teen, trying to take your own life a few times due to the pain you felt. Running from home just to be returned and continued to be put down more and told you will never become anything when you grow up. Your memories gave you nightmares for years, and you struggled in all acts of life. You became rejected by a number of people to be used by many. All your relationship failed, and you marry a person that never cared for you when you met. The abuse from childhood was never overcome and dealt with. The consistent put downs from this parent into school peers and co-workers to dating, marriage, and then divorce. The narcissistic parent continued even into your adult life, finding out that the money they once had was all gone. As this parent stands in your doorway trying to convince you to sell what you have and live and take care of them in their household. You find out that the abuse from years ago is still continuing as this parent battles their partner in taking what they can. Only one adult in this household is working, while the other spends. Growing up this type of environment can cause tension and resentment from the child's point of view. Some will take blame for the actions that the parent gave while growing up. You find out that the verbal abuse you once heard is continuing inside of this marriage and was never resolved. The feelings of another is still being torn apart because you now realize this person is not strong enough to walk away from the situation. As the complaints continue, it's told that there is no money left, that it's been squandered, and no trace can be found, that the struggle is now worse than it was from years ago. The narcissistic person blames the spouse for anything that occurs. Even years later, the abuse has not changed from when the child remembers this behavior from years ago. It becomes worse over time as a daily put-downs, nasty demeanor, and blame is only on one person. The finger is being pointed while you're in the middle, noticing the characteristics you learned about when you began reading and understanding what abuse in a relationship looks like with counseling assistance. It's difficult to break away from what you've learned, especially when you come from a broken home. The ultimate thing, though, that I've learned is that you can always change your course of action with the mindset of a positive individual. All you have to do is believe in yourself, and you can change anything that you want in your life by the actions that you choose to take on your own behalf. Without knowing the signs of abuse, the chances of you repeating this cycle are higher. The chances of your children being abused are higher. The chances of one or more of your children continuing this behavior or choosing other substances to try to fix the pain that they feel are also higher. Learn to notice the signs of what narcissism is. Learn about the abuse if you've been through it, and cope with the pain so that the cycle can be broken with your own children before you decide to have any. Not healing from the pain you've had in the past can easily contribute to a future of hurt as well. It's not worth your children to go through the exact same pain or something similar as you get older and watch this all avalanche over and over with each generation. It's also, from a child's point of view, not a good idea to stay in a marriage that you continue to gripe about to your own kids. This is something that can also cause resentment. If you are an adult and you are in this kind of a relationship, by all means, heal yourself and get out. Talking to your children about the abuse that you are still continuing, having suffered from then and now, is also not a good idea. This too can be frustrating on the child, knowing that their parent is still being abused by the narcissist. Over time, these people just choose not to change. They continue to stay bitter. They continue to complain. They will continue to hurt those around them. Choosing to walk away for your own mental health is beneficial in the long run. Choosing to walk away so your kids don't get hurt is also beneficial as well, to protect them as much as possible. Growing up in a narcissistic home is never easy. It puts the child in a position of depression and low self-worth. This too can also cause future relationships to fail very easily because of the lack of self-worth that the child feels. This continues into a disrespectful relationship with someone that will not care about your own child. When you have children with a narcissist, or somebody with narcissistic characteristics, the chances of them taking care of the child are very slim. Neglect is usually common. Mental, physical, emotional, and sometimes sexual abuse is also a trait that they can have. These people over time will not change their attitude or behavior toward your family members. It's also common that they will not want you to interact with your immediate family. All of these things are important to keep in mind when dating, because if they are trying to control every aspect of your life, your best bet is to get up and leave before it's too late. Just like to say, appreciate you listening. I hope you've learned something with this video today. Take it with you. Stay positive in your own life. Take care of yourself and have a great day.